little earlier this year, the Nicholl show was in Gstaad in Switzerland for the Snow Bike Festival and a chance to go skiing with Mike Horn. But we also played tourist for a little while, checking out cheese fondue, meeting some cows and exploring this enchanting part of the world. This is the valley with Gstaad and Saanen, and it is quite simply the Swiss Alps at its finest. Switzerland's mostly about skiing when you think of coming here in winter, but the hiking is also particularly good, summer and winter. And we're going a little hike, not too long, to something rather special they have here in the valley. It's a giant fondue pot in which we'll be eating fondue. Now that all sounds a little bizarre, but we'll be there shortly and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So we're in pretty good hands today, because Marianne is not just a guide, but she's a local. Born and brought up here, Marianne.
One of those 7 families who were actually building Sandland.
And it's very clear that you quite like this part of the world. We've arrived at the fondue pot I mentioned earlier, and here it is. It is fantastic. Cheese fondue awaits, and I'm not sure there is a more splendid outdoor dining venue in the world. Right, so this is our backpack. It's a really clever idea. It has everything we need for a complete fondue. So it's a bit like opening a Christmas stocking, really. And we also have, couple of little bottles of Kirsch, which I wouldn't normally drink being a professional, but I think I might make an exception today.
And that's the Nicholl.
Right, so this is ready-made cheese fondue.
Yeah.
So I just need to stir this.
Always. And when we start eating afterwards, always one has to stir it.
Well, no surprises that the country that gave us the Swiss Army knife comes up with all sorts of clever ideas. The outdoor fridge, pop some white wine into the snow, bring it out 10 minutes later, and voila, perfect temperature. And it's also traditional Swiss white wine, a nice dry white wine to offset the wine that will be in the fondue mix. This meal is just getting better and better. So this is the moment I've been waiting for all day. It is a perfectly sized piece of bread onto the fondue fork and into the cheese. Traditional cheese fondue, and in this particular location, this might be the best meal I've ever had. It's probably the single greatest day of winter weather in the history of Switzerland, so the perfect opportunity to head up on the cable car and check out Glacier 3000. This is the glacier walk across Glacier 3000. As the name suggests, it's about 3,000 meters above sea level. That means the air's pretty thin here, but it's the beauty as much as the altitude that's taking my breath away. I'm a little bit nervous. We're a lot higher than I feel comfortable at. I'm not the first South African to be here, though. Mike Horn brought the South African cricket team here a few years ago. They had to walk across the glacier. They didn't have this nice bridge to cross over. I think some of those players still bear the scars. Now, I'm not sure if you can pick this up on camera, but this bridge is swaying ever so slightly, and I'm starting to feel just a little nervous. So as you can see from the readout, we are 2,971 meters up. That means if you're standing here in your Ibn Etzebeth, you're exactly 3,000 meters high. So this is seriously cool. Not only does it give me the mountains in close up, but it also tells me that exactly 62 kilometers that way is Mont Blanc, the highest point in Switzerland. So we bumped into a couple of Parisian mountain climbers. These two guys have just walked up the mountain today. It's pretty beautiful, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
The important question to ask you, is the Nicholl show really popular in France?
No. You don't know. You don't know. You don't want to lie, but you don't know.
So we've been to some pretty amazing places around the world with the Nicholl show and seen some beautiful things, but I'm not sure I've been anywhere quite as magnificent as this.